competition. The company took its devices to other global markets and is now finally here in India, with the Mi3 making the debut for a shockingly low price of Rs 14,999. One might say it is already worth it, but the details? Let's find out everything about the Mi3 in our full review. Design-wise, the Mi3 looks a lot like the exterior Nokia device, the N9. The similarities are uncanny mainly because of the flat vertical ends, the curved sides and the hardware buttons. That said, the Mi3 does differentiate itself well with a flatter design and different materials. Talking of materials, the phone is built very well with a magnesium aluminum alloy on the inside while it is good quality plastic on the outside. Being a 5-inch device with a 16:9 screen, it is indeed taller than usual, so the dimensions might annoy people with smaller hands. But at 8.1mm of thickness and 145 grams of weight, it might not pose a big problem. Let's take a walkthrough of the hardware now. The Mi3 has a 5-inch screen at the front with an earpiece, a front-facing camera, the usual couple of sensors and a multicolor notification LED above, and the 3 capacitive shortcut buttons below. We have the power lock switch and the volume rocker at the side, while the top houses the 3.5mm audio jack, a full-sized SIM card slot and microphones. Over at the bottom we have the laser drilled speaker holes and the reinforced micro USB slot. Moving to the back, we have the 13-megapixel camera, the dual LED flash and the secondary microphone along with the Mi logo down below. Moving on to finer details, let's start with the display. As mentioned earlier, the Xiaomi Mi3 comes with a 5-inch Full HD 1080p screen at the front with 441 ppi of pixel density. This panel is closely bonded to the glass and hence you get good contrast even on a LCD screen, and it does have good color accuracy, viewing angles and content adaptive brightness control that helps in good outdoor visibility. The screen also has a high sensitivity glove mode on the hardware side, and on the software side you can control the white balance of the screen with presets and more. The camera on the back is a 13-megapixel unit capable of shooting 1080p video with a f2.2 aperture lens over it. Powered by the MIUI interface, the camera operation is easy enough for newbies, but there are a lot of options for professionals and enthusiasts too who want to tinker with the settings. For example, one can take a photograph with light rails thanks to the manual shutter speed control, and for the adventurous there is even custom controls for white balance in K values and manual ISO up to 3200. Here are some camera samples from the device which should let you judge the performance. We would say the camera is more than great at this price, but it has potential to do better when it comes to toning down aggressive processing algorithms. You can take a look at our camera review for the complete deep dive of the Mi3's camera. On the inside, we have the Snapdragon 800 MSM8274AB chipset that powers a quad-core 2.3 GHz processor and Adreno 330 for graphics. With 2 GB of RAM, there is enough memory to handle multiple apps simultaneously. As expected, we didn't experience any slowdowns due to lag or stutter, but we did run some tests including benchmarks and games which showed good performance results throughout. Even general performance was great, owing somewhat to the lightness of MIUI, so it blazed through everyday tasks without a problem. Storage wise, you have 16 GB for the base variant, which provides us with around 11 to 12 GB of free space. While this is not too bad, the phone could have had an expansion slot for heavy media users who carry around a lot of data. But USB on-the-go expansion is indeed an option as it works out of the box. The Mi3 is a single SIM 3G GSM device that does not support LTE. And it is important to note that it has a full SIM slot, which means you have to resort to adapters if you have micro or nano SIM cards. Other connectivity options that matter are NFC and FM radio, and as mentioned earlier, USB on the go. Coming to software, Xiaomi continues to use and update its custom OS called MIUI. The Mi3 runs the latest version, the V5 of MIUI, on top of Android 4.3 Jelly Bean. The user interface looks a lot like iOS in its structure, but packs a lot of good features. It's easy to see why others take inspiration from MIUI in terms of toggles, default apps, and so on. The performance of the UI, again, is great at all times, and that is one strong point of MIUI. And then there are tons and tons of personalization options like downloadable themes that can completely change the look of your device. But the personalization is not limited to cosmetic change, as you can even remap the shortcut keys' extra functions. Then there are nice little flourishes like the swipe up action, bringing a widget overlay for some apps like music and notes, which we had wished to see more on others. MIUI comes with a lot of beautifully designed default apps for media, utilities and so on, and there is also the promise of updates as the company has been consistent with them so far. We must also add that the audio performance on this device is great, with good amount of options for the both in hardware through dedicated ISPs as well as software through equalizers. Overall, the software experience is great if you like MIUI, but then there are always options to use other ROMs or just launchers. Coming to battery life, we found the 3050 mAh battery to serve us very well. Even on a heavy duty day, the phone lasted for 14 hours on a single charge, and on a casual medium to heavy usage day that included lots of Twitter and WhatsApp, the device went for more than a day with 10% to spare. Power settings will help you extend the battery life even further by letting you change to specific presets like on a laptop. Concluding, the Xiaomi Mi3 priced at Rs 14,999 for the Indian market is a game changer. The device packs not only top-end specifications but also completes the user experience by proving to be comparable with other flagships, but at a fraction of their prices. The display, the performance, the build quality, the battery life, and even just the design is class-leading for a product of this kind. The camera might not be the best if you think of it as a flagship, but class-leading at this price again. If you ask us, we have no complaints except for the non-information of the kind of after-sales support the company can provide at the moment. And that brings us to the